From the world's first ever privacy display to the horizontal lock video mode, the S26 Ultra might have just changed the game. We spent a full week in San Francisco with Samsung for Galaxy Unpacked, where they released the new S26 line of phones, the Galaxy Buds 4 and 4 Pro, as well as a slew of Galaxy AI improvements. We got hands-on time at the Samsung pre-briefing where I held the S26 Ultra and noticed its thickness at 7.9mm and weight of 214 grams. The S26 Ultra is also a slimmer and lighter phone than the S25 with an armor aluminum build with multiple colorways like cobalt violet, sky blue, black, and white, with online exclusives like silver shadow and pink gold. Some highlights of the S26 Ultra include the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 with a faster CPU, GPU, and NPU, a new vapor chamber, larger apertures to let in more light with the wide and main cameras, and of course the new privacy display. Speaking of the display, it's a 6.9-inch 120Hz Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED 2X display. The coolest part is the built-in privacy display at the hardware level. You can think of it as the pixels turning on or off selectively to obscure the viewing angles for maximum privacy without being connected to the internet. What's even cooler is that it's customizable based on your needs, like if a specific notification pops up, or if you're just browsing your banking app, the privacy display will activate. I genuinely think this is super handy to have because you can toggle it on or off, so you can leave it on for maximum privacy or turn it off when you're showing content to a friend. Now, the new chip inside boasts a 39% faster NPU for AI workloads on device, a 24% boost in GPU performance for gaming, and a 16% faster CPU for processing. I'll test gaming more extensively in a future short form video, but I wanted to see how it would handle with daily usage, especially walking around the city. Luckily, it also didn't get very hot with the new vapor chamber. On the day of Galaxy Unpacked, we went to the Palace of Fine Arts where we walked through the impressive architecture to get to the indoor seating area. We learned a lot about the new phones, as well as the emphasis on Galaxy AI and how Samsung wants AI to be easy to use and integrate seamlessly into everyday life. They highlighted improvements with agentic AI by having a personal assistant order things for you on DoorDash, AI photo editing on device, and even day-to-day improvements like document scan. Alright, we just wrapped up Samsung Galaxy Unpacked and we have the S26 Ultra right in front of us. Let's unbox it. I actually opened it up earlier on short form, so if you want to watch the true unboxing, it's on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, IG Reels. So we peel the film, and here we go. This is the cobalt violet color with the S26 Ultra, and it looks pretty nice. I already set it up too, and as you can see, the privacy display looks super cool. I'm so excited about this, as well as the Galaxy AI features. And let me set this down. Dog. Film the dog. The dog's so interested in the new phone too. So we also have a couple accessories in front of us as well, like the Galaxy Buds 4. A case as well so we don't drop it and damage it since we just got it today. A 45-watt magnetic charger, and the S25 for comparison. So right off the bat, the S26 Ultra is slightly thinner than the S25 Ultra. It has rounded edges, and Samsung's using armor aluminum, which makes this a bit more lightweight. In terms of durability, we'll have to see in the future. Dog. So we're gonna walk around San Francisco the rest of today and tomorrow with the phone to test it out, take photos and videos, and also see how long the battery life lasts. Another thing to note is that the S26 Ultra unfortunately doesn't have built-in magnets. It does support wireless charging, but you have to use a case with a magnetic ring on the back. Right after Unpacked, we spent a half day in SF on the cable car to the Ghirardelli Square. I got to try out horizontal lock on the hilly ride around the city, and it worked really well. Too bad horizontal lock couldn't keep me from sliding around in my seat. At the aquatic park, I snapped pics using the wide main and telephoto cameras of the Golden Gate Bridge, and we saw this cool freight ship come in through the fog. I also took some videos walking around with horizontal lock enabled. We got a bunch of low-light shots around Ghirardelli Square, and have a look at the impressive results. The S26 Ultra captured a ton of detail in the shadows while maintaining quality in the highlights and minimizing noise. The next day, we started our full day excursion in the San Francisco Zoo at 2 p.m. with close to 100% battery. Alright, we're starting off the day at the SF Zoo with the S26 Ultra. It's a bit late at like 2:30 right now, but we're at 95% battery. And we're gonna explore for a couple hours over here, take pictures and videos with the phone, test it out, and see how long the battery life lasts too.
What the holy?
We started off eating bagels we bought from a restaurant, and I realized this was the perfect opportunity to test out the Photo Assist feature with Galaxy AI. So I took a bite from this bagel and used Photo Assist to fill in the bite and make the bagel whole again. Here's the result. It came out okay, and I like that there's a watermark too to designate AI altered images. The meat came out mostly realistic, but the lettuce looked a bit wonky. Honestly, it did a pretty decent job because this bagel was pretty complex. I also took a bite out of this donut hole and it filled it in better this time since it's just a simpler piece of food. Walking around the zoo in the winter, we could definitely tell many of the animals weren't out, like the grizzly bears, which were sleeping.
There are none.
The ones that we did see were the rhinos, zebras, gorillas, and camels. This was a great chance to check out the zoom capabilities with the telephoto camera and the infamous 100x zoom features. Penguin feeding was my favorite activity at the zoo because we got to see the penguins swarm around the zookeeper. It was super funny when a seagull stopped by trying to snag some fish from the penguins and the zookeeper kept spraying it with the hose. We also saw the black bears and I zoomed in super tight to get a closer look at the detail of the cameras. The furs on the bears were nice and crisp and the colors were also very vibrant and realistic. I tried out the horizontal lock feature which stabilizes the horizon and keeps your videos nice and steady in good lighting conditions. Horizontal lock video test, look at how impressive this is. Ooh, bears. It worked really well and I'm stunned at how similar it looks to gimbal footage.
All right, we just finished up our time at the zoo. It's 3:59 p.m. right now, so we spent a couple hours here and we're at 81% on the phone after taking photos and videos.
After the zoo, we headed to the beach where we did more photo and video tests to see the cameras in action in harsher sunset conditions. I have a few examples of 0.6x, 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, and 100x shots that turned out superb. We were hungry after exploring the city, so we headed to Chinatown where we ate chicken pho and rolled ice cream. I also wanted to check out Audio Eraser to see if background noise could be removed from my video after recording. What's interesting is that it does a great job removing background ambient noise like fan and wind noise, but not background dialogue. Alright, we're testing out the audio on the S26 Ultra in a busy cafe in Chinatown, SF. Test 1, 2, 3. It's pretty noisy, we can hear a ton of background noise, a few groups in here as well, so let's see if we can still pick up my voice on the phone. Alright, we're testing out the audio on the S26 Ultra in a busy cafe in Chinatown, SF. Test 1, 2, 3. It's pretty noisy, we can hear a ton of background noise, a few groups in here as well, so let's see if we can still pick up my voice on the phone. This was also a great time to try some nightography. We headed to Treasure Island to get some shots of the city and Bay Bridge and take advantage of the dimly lit conditions. The city skyline and Bay Bridge were stunning in the night. I zoomed in on the Port of San Francisco sign at the ferry building and saw every letter visible even across the bay at nighttime. It's crazy to me how well the camera performs even in such dark conditions. Like at Ghirardelli Square, the results here came out great with low noise, punchy colors, and a good amount of detail. I also took a few videos around the area and some horizontal lock shots to see how well it would perform. I'm running. And let's see how this goes. It's currently 1:01 a.m. and we had a full day with the S26 Ultra. I'm at 39% battery life, and that mostly consisted of taking photos and videos throughout the day. I did a little bit of brain rotting when I got back to the hotel on YouTube, but we didn't go too crazy with brain rotting on social media or gaming. I think if I did, I definitely would have approached 0%. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the battery life. The privacy display is very handy to have, and if you value privacy using your phone in public, the flexibility of being able to turn it on or off, I think it's a really cool standout feature. The processor, camera, and Galaxy AI improvements are also always appreciated. Now, is the S26 Ultra worth it? If you're using a newer phone or you wouldn't find much use out of the privacy display, I'd say hold out for now. The S26 Ultra has brought some great improvements to the smartphone space, and I have no doubt that it'll change the industry standards, but at the end of the day, it's a very personal decision if you'll actually find use out of upgrading. That works pretty well. If you want to learn more about the S26 Ultra, I'll leave a link in the description section of this video. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and let me know what you think of the video or the phone in the comments below.